Curtin Radio.
Welcome back. Well, there is a temptation to get all nostalgic about the good old days because my next guest, we worked together along with a lot of other media people back in the day, Tim.
In the day.
Tim O'Day, he's now, president of Pictures in Motion, Museum of Film and Television at White's Hill. Good on you. You're still involved, aren't you?
Certainly involved.
And you're actually collecting, well, you have collected for this exhibition that's coming up. You've got all the equipment that you would have probably used back at 7.
Yes, Pictures in Motion have a very big collection. It's some 3,000 items.
Wow.
And there's a film library as well. That's 5,000 titles.
Of showing what? What would it be?
A lot of it is what was used in schools for education purposes. I always remember sitting there on a Friday afternoon usually, and they'd trot out the projector, and show a film, an educational film.
Yes, I suppose. Well,
it's that sort of thing.
That sort of thing. Okay, let's go back, and people listening, the demographic that listen to Curtin Radio would relate to this, I'm sure a lot of would. When television first started, black and white, 59, I think Channel 7 being the first.
Yes, in October.
59, gosh. And I remember sitting, all of us, watching, waiting for transmission to commence.
Yeah. We've actually got some of the equipment from that opening night. And in fact, there is one of the cameras actually on display at White's Hill.
Really? How did you get all this equipment? Did you hide it when you were working?
No, strangely enough, as it walked out of the buildings when technology changed and that sort of thing, it quite often got put into someone's shed.
Oh, great.
Or
by permission?
Yeah. Well, I think so.
You think so? When you start sort of taking home big studio cameras, which they were in those days, that's a pretty big item to move.
Yeah, well, actually, a friend of ours, Keith Geary.
Oh, yeah, my friend too.
He actually has a camera in his house.
I don't doubt that.
One of the cameras that was used on your show.
Oh, is that where I went? Standby camera too, and it wasn't there. Yeah. Keith Geary, of course, was with the children's shows for many years. Fat Cat. They were great days. I don't mean to say they were better than today, but it was different. It was different. The studios were alive. You guys were working very hard. The outside broadcast, if we ever did one, involved a huge van to take out, and now they just open up a laptop, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
And what was your role exactly?
I was, in the end, I was Director of Engineering and Station Manager.
Oh, you were the clever ones.
Oh.
You're the ones that did all the work.
I had a lot of clever people around me.
But the early days, what time, when did you start? I'm sorry I'm getting a bit personal here, but...
It was 76.
Oh, okay, so you weren't there in 59, but the studios that were built at Chewett Hill...
Yeah, we've actually, some of our members and regular volunteers were around at that time.
Were they?
Yeah.
Great. There's a lot of stories that could be told, I suppose, from the corridors.
Yes.
The telethon days and all that sort of thing. It was fantastic. Yeah. And everything, not everything, but most things were going to air live every day.
Yes, there was a lot of live. Even some of the commercials were live, which was... really quite a feat.
No, it was wonderful. Yeah. I remember going from black and white to colour. I was at 9 in those days, and Peter Barlow on black and white looked as though he was quite tanned, but I went to colour, you could see he had a red face. At another instance, with the size of the cameras in the studio, I was doing a live interview, and all of a sudden the top of the camera actually fell off the pedestal, crashed. Brett Wiley was behind the camera of that one. Yeah. Now let's find out what's happening coming up.
At White's Hill, the city of Melville,
just off Canning Highway up the hill. Is there a sign?
It's off Canning Highway in Ardros, in behind the Garden City Shopping Centre.
That's exactly right. Is there a sign on Canning Highway?
Yes, there's signs.
So opening on Sunday the 20th... Oh, it's already open,
It's open,
It's the end of January.
We opened it.
And tell us what people can see.
Okay, it's based on television news, and the title is Television News Analogue to Algorithm, which sort of,
modern day.
Where it went from film in the early days, black and white film.
Used to shoot in film for stories. Come back and get them processed.
Yeah, they'd process them, then edit them, and
there was a lot of running around in those days.
Well, it was also a couple of hours between the time it arrived back at the station to when it
into group colour
where it could go to air.
And because you weren't crossing live like we do today.
No, that capability wasn't there. Then it went from black and white to colour, and then in the mid-70s this magic electronic news gathering came about, and that was when we were able to do live crosses.
It progressed beautifully, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, every television station pride themselves on their news capability and the vision that they get, and it's all a wee bit different now. It's all sort of live and happening and heck and all that sort of tabloid, bit more tabloid.
Yeah.
But okay, what else?
And so this exhibition goes through the collection or gathering of news.
How it was done.
And how it was done, and the technology that was involved. Yeah. And then we've got the different eras or the different technology eras for electronic news gathering. Then, unfortunately, we've only got a picture of it, but the way it's done now is a thing goes on the back of the camera, and that goes live via the 5G network.
So do you have people there on the day if the public go up?
Yep. It's open it's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
10 a.m.
but
to 4.
It's only from Wednesdays to Sundays.
Okay, inclusive. Wednesday to Sunday inclusive.
Yep.
Okay, so...
And it's free.
That's even better. And it's going through until the 5th of May.
That's right.
That's good.
It's going to be there for a while.
Putting all this collection together means a lot of storage. You've got a home now, haven't you? But what about the other area?
We currently, Pictures in Motion's collection is basically in storage in a building at the Sunset Hospital site, which is a heritage listed site, and an arrangement was done where the government allowed us to use the facility, and now the government is proposing to restore the site.
Redevelop,
and all the other tenants that were there have moved off already. We have been told we have to move in November.
Okay, and the problem is?
And the problem is we haven't got anywhere to go at present. So,
okay. I saw on the internet recently someone suggested the old car park or something at ABC.
Oh yeah, the outside broadcast area at the new ABC.
The new ABC.
The way the ABC operate, that wouldn't
work.
Wouldn't work.
Okay. Any ideas?
Yeah. We've looked at the Whiteman Park or the new film and production studios that have just started out at Whiteman Park or Malaga.
Malaga, yes.
But the best that we could get there would be the occasional item in the foyer.
Oh, that's not what you need.
And the public won't have access to that either.
No, that's very true, because they'll be working on making movies.
Yeah.
Okay, what would be the ideal for have this collection of 3,000 items? Are these big items?
Some of them, yeah. We've got a videotape machine at the Sunset site that was the first videotape machine in WA. And that is 5 racks or 2 metres of equipment.
That's a big operation. I remember those. Yeah, that's right.
And we've got the boom microphones from the opening night, and it was the one that was in the studio at 7 for years.
Yeah,
we've got that there. So that's the size. We've got a Channel 10 news set.
A whole set.
A whole set. Part of it is actually at Wireless Hill currently, which has relieved the storage situation a little bit.
Because it's quite big,
So there are, and we're also a cinema. We've got projectors from just about every cinema
as they used to use
in WA. As they've been taken out, we seem to end up with them.
So you're overloaded, aren't you?
Yeah. It's.
What would look, you must have thought very carefully about this, all of you.
Yeah.
What's the ideal?
Well, the ideal would be to have storage.
Yeah, but where?
With the base storage, but then you need a work area to be able to maintain.
Good point.
What's there, and then an exhibition area where we can exhibit.
People can come and,
And on the drawing boards for many years has been a cinema, a small cinema, but a cinema where old classics can be shown.
Old movies, and you're thinking
movies.
Your memorabilia could be there too.
Yeah, we were able to get into the Signet theatre down in Como.
Yeah.
But they're revisiting that totally. It's all...
The site, yes.
Yeah, and during COVID...
closed down, things changed.
Quite...
So really this becomes a little bit desperate for you, doesn't it, really, when you think about it? November, and you haven't got anywhere at all offered to you.
No.
At all. Wireless Hill can't expand? No, you can't.
The television part was actually at Wireless Hill going back many years, over 20 years, and we've now taken most of that because the City of Melville, apart from the fact what we've collected wouldn't fit there, the City of Melville, looked at it and it's not their core thing.
Well, what are we going to do about this? Come on, we've got history here.
Yeah, we need...
good times and bad times.
Anyone who's got any ideas, I would be happy to...
and the location would be a good one for the public to visit from time to time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if it's... the full thing of the exhibition space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you need to purchase or could someone donate space, do you think would be the ideal?
We would need either a facility with a peppercorn lease. We haven't got a lot of money.
No, of course you wouldn't. Well, you haven't sold anything, have you?
No.
How big is an area would you need?
For storage alone, 1,000 square metres, which is...
That's a big shed.
That's a big shed, and that would just fit what we've got here.
Okay. Swan Valley? Lots of tourists go out that way, don't they, at any given time?
Yeah. And,
Kings Park would be good. If there's
the old ABC building in Adelaide
it's
Terrace
still standing, isn't it?
Yeah, the Basil Kirk studio, which was where the WA Symphony were operating out of, that has been heritage listed, so the owners of it of the building having a lot of difficulty getting planning approvals.
I was wondering why it was still standing and not turned into an apartment block, which is the norm these days.
So they're trying to sell it right now, but
are they?
That's way beyond our...
of course it is.
Our means.
Well, you never know. There might be a film buff listening that's got a few... There's a $20 million cash prize tonight.
200 million.
200 million, sorry. 200 million. Listen to me, I never buy a ticket, so you never know. There could be someone there. And, from the early days of television and all that sort of thing, it really... I know we're reminiscing, and you can reminisce about what it used to be like, but it was hands-on. Yeah. It was full force, wasn't it?
Yeah, and if you take in the cinemas as well...
Yes.
There's, there's people out there who can reminisce... about
it was live,
their experience going to the pictures or their experience watching you on television.
Yeah, sure. They'd cry. The thing is with it all, it was our form of entertainment back then. It's different now, you've got choices. But what do you think about today with streaming and all the other areas that people can get entertained on?
I don't mind it. I think it's... evolution, me being a technical person,
a bit different. Do you have any fond memories? I know you have a lot of fond memories, but with all the people you work with, the talented people, creative people, engineering, technical people. But what sort of decade do you think was really terrific?
Probably the 80s.
Yeah.
That's when... we were doing a lot of things. The late 70s going into the 80s. Yeah,
you're talking about live programs out of the studios and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sport.
Yeah.
Look at the camera work now with sport.
Things like the Miss Universe pageant.
Oh, that it'd have
huge.
To be you say that.
Yeah, and Bob Hope.
At the Perth Entertainment Centre. And of course that was could have been tragic because the stage collapsed.
Yeah.
And that was a minor incidental thing.
Yeah.
Fat Cat was at the entertainment centre a lot doing shows.
Yes,
Remember Keith
yes,
Geary
they
and
were.
all the guys
Yeah.
from the kid shows?
Yeah,
They were great.
And they used to get a lot of kids to
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, just remind people again, they can go through until the 5th of May,
Yep.
Wireless Hill Museum.
It's in Wireless Park.
Wireless Park off Canning Highway.
Yeah.
Look, it's lovely to see you again.
Yeah.
It really is. But I do miss the days when, the studios were alive and
Yeah.
people were rushing around. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Few bloopers came out of that era, I
Oh,
can tell
yes. I was looking at one the other night with
you. John Farnham.
John Farnham and Jenny Seaton. Yeah.
That's a beauty. Do you know what? I'll never live that down, but it was so innocent at the time. Anyway, I won't do it now. We might offend. I'd have to put a warning up. But it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Lovely to see you, Tim.
Jenny?
I'm so pleased you're doing all of this, and to all the volunteers. How many people do you have helping?
We've probably got 20 volunteers, that contribute
Okay.
on a regular basis, but we have a lot of members who are supporting them.
Yeah. But the people that volunteer, do they come from the industry from way back?
Most of them do, yes.
Yeah.
We've got an ex-district court judge who's a volunteer.
Oh, was he involved?
No,
in
it was a she, but...
She, sorry. How would I just assume it's a man?
had no involvement with television.
Just interesting the way it progressed over the years. I mean, the days of Sammy Davis at Telethon and, Whitney Houston and remember that? All the guards in the hallway thinking we were going to attack her. Stevie Wonder was fantastic too. And Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
All he did is wave.
Yeah, well, that's all he was allowed.
That was the deal. Great to see you, Tim.
Okay,
Thank
Jenny.
you so
Thank
much.
you. Thanks
Incidentally, how do they get in touch with you if they've got a facility?
I would suggest just use my email, and that's...
Which is?
TODEA.
Okay, at Big Pond.
bigpond.com.
So it's TODEA at bigpond.com.
Yep.
Thank you so much for telling us about it, Tim, and good luck. Let's hope it gets housed.
I'm sure it will.
Thank you, Tim.
Curtin Radio.